3 of the hangman videos in Python. In this lesson we're going to learn how to make a loop using a sentinel. Alright, so I'm inside my hangman folder, inside my Python folder, and I'm going to make a new file. And this time, since I'm using Linux, I'm going to show you a way to make a file from the command line. Just make a blank file. What you do is you type in touch and then the name of the file. So I'm going to do loops.py, and let me spell it right, T-O-U-C-H, loops.py, and that just makes a blank file with the name or whatever you call it. So I'm going to open up that file from Sublime Text, and there it is. Well, no, that's the wrong one. There it is. Okay, and what I want to do in this file is show you a couple of ways you could do a loop using what's called a sentinel. So for this game, what you're going to want to do is make a game loop. And this is just a loop that keeps running over and over again, and it's typically how most games operate. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make a variable. And the name of the variable is going to be game over. Actually, let's make it game running. And I'm going to make it equal to true. And then I'm going to come down and I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to put while game running. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go into my loop, so make sure you put the colon, and go into your loop, and we're going to just have it print game running. Our game is running. And then I'm going to go ahead and run this, but before I run it, we should know that what's going to happen. Okay, so what's going to happen is it's going to keep printing game is running over and over again, because the way the while loop goes, as long as this is true, it'll keep looping. When it becomes false, it'll stop. So right now we have nothing to change it to false, so it's going to do an endless loop over and over again. So I'm going to save it. And I'm going to go here into my terminal, and I'm going to type Python, and we're going to do loops.py. And you can see it's just looping over and over again, and keeps printing that, and it'll keep doing that until we stop it. And the way we stop it is by holding down Control and pressing C, and that'll interrupt the running of this thing. And you can see we already got a bunch of them that went. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to make a way for it to stop. And how we could do that is a couple of different ways. Alright, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make another variable, and I'm going to call it counts, and I'll make it equal 0. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to print game is running. And then I'm going to do if count is greater than or equal to 100, we're going to change game running to false. And now what's going to happen is it's going to print game is running over and over again for 100 times, and actually 101 times because it started at 0. So it's going to print it 101 times, and then after that it'll stop. Okay, because it'll stop because when this becomes true right here, it'll execute this line, which turns game running into false, and then this will become false and it'll stop. Alright, so I'm going to go outside the loop right here, and then I'm going to print, I'm going to play it, print game over. Okay, so let's save this, and I'm going to come back here and do Python loops.py again. And I'm going to press it. It's going to run 100 times. Actually, it's going to keep running over and over again because I forgot to do one thing. So I'm going to Control C out of this, and let's see if we can figure out what we forgot to do. Alright, so I have count is equal to 0. I have count is greater than or equal to 100 here, but I am not adding 1 to count each time it goes through. So after it does the print, I'm going to do counts plus equals 1, and that'll add 1 each time. And just to make sure it's going to do that, I'm going to print counts also. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it, and we'll try again. Okay, so it went up to 100 and then game over. Alright, so that's how you do a loop using what's called a sentinel. In this case, this game running variable is a sentinel. When it turns false, it'll stop the loop and it'll stop the game.